All right, good morning, guys. We are on a rescue mission this morning. We got a man down. Old Red decided she didn't want to come to work today. Let's see, I need a 1/2 inch right here and some channel lockies. So I get a call from Tristan this morning that his clutch on Red is not being copacetic, and come to find out we got a leak. At least we think it's the slave cylinder. So we got the winch truck warming herself up, and we need a battery for the winch on the trailer. So the 4x4 will provide. Again, ought to just donate this battery straight to the trailer and be done with it. But let me see, this is gonna be fun to do. Hang on a second, let me get y'all set up here. All right, that's a little better. Anyway, we're grabbing this for the winch. We don't really need it with the winch truck, but meaning that we can pull Red up with the big winch. But just soon, if we're gonna go, we need to go loaded for bear, and this won't take but a second. So I'm gonna pop this off, and then we got a few doodads and whatnots that we need to bring, straps and cables and whatnot, or straps and whatnot from the back of the tool truck from our Texas excursion the other day. All right, let me lift this out. Oh, that's heavy. All right, that stuff can stay there. So yeah, on the Texas run we took the tool truck. Y'all saw we had a little radiator fun on that situation. So reason I'm taking this truck, A, it's closer. This old girl is strong enough to pull hell off the hinges, but she also is not a big fan of high speed because of the low gear ratio. So on highway trips we tend to leave her at home unless she's needed. And so anyway, I went over there to get a tool truck cranked up, and we had put a radio in it, and I noticed the radio was doing stupid stuff, meaning staying on. It's just old Ford radio we robbed and threw in there, and it's dead as a hammer, so we're gonna have to charge it up later. All right, so we need to back this up. We got the 2.5 or 2 5/16. We need to back them up to the trailer. So let's see. I'm gonna set y'all up, and there we go. I'll do a ride along like that. think the clutch master cylinder is leaking, and naturally he's got almost all his tools over here at my shop. So I'm getting ready to go rescue him and bring his truck over here, and that way if we don't get it fixed today, we can, you know, he can borrow one of mine till we get whatever, if we gotta wait on a part or whatever. Okay, there we go. Alright guys, we have arrived. I would have filmed a little bit on the ride over here for you, but with this old girl singing in your ear, you can't hear it. I love listening to her. So we got Red over here, getting ready to come up on the trailer. He thinks he's got enough clutch to drive up, so we're gonna set y'all up and see what happens. Let me spin y'all around. I don't want y'all to get car sick. All right, we got the ramps out. Let's see what we got. Not how you envision starting your day. I hear you on that. I guess this is water from the ramp.
Yeah. What year? You said I'll come in.
You want to go through the rims or you want to go?
Yeah, that's cool. That's
All right.
From the outside of the tire.
Yeah, I think that'll keep the D-ring away. Plus, it's just easier. Get in the hole, you. All right, guys, some of y'all had asked about how we strap them. These actually can go either around the whole tire, drop it over the top and slide it down, or if you got room, you can go through the rims and ratchet them down. And it's really good enough, but I usually put a little backup chain just back here. That way, if you have to stop hard, you got something else keeping this old truck out your back door. So we're gonna get the rest of this done and hit the road. And this is just what I'm talking about the having a little backup chain. You know, it's got a good bind on it, but not astronomically tight, but just enough where if we got to stop really quick, you got another backup. But with these 4 straps, you're in the weight range, so you should be good. All right, guys, well, we're gonna get on the road and we'll pick this party back up when we get to the shop and offload old Red. See y'all in a minute.
Well, guys, we got her unloaded. We're back here at the shop. We got tools, everything. Without dragging it on too much, my issue was first and second gear. Early this morning, it went in the first gear just fine. When it came down to shifting in the second, I hit a brick wall and then it never wanted to go back into first. When I say first, I'm excluding granny gear. But my first thing was to come and check this clutch pedal reservoir, and it was completely dry. Now, if your clutch reservoir is completely dry, you're gonna have to go through the bleeding procedure, which we may get into in this video. If it is low, you may be able to get away with just adding some fluid. My second step was to go ahead and that I knew the reservoir was dry. My second step was to go ahead and check for any leaks. That includes the reservoir, the master cylinder, and the release cylinder or slave cylinder on the transmission up here. So I pulled this guy off. The side of the transmission here. You just push in and turn counterclockwise. And I got signs of brake fluid. So we're gonna go ahead and top it back off one more time and see if we can track down a leak before we go ahead and try to replace them.
All right, guys, I'm standing in for Mr. T. So we got all of our pieces here for the brake master cylinder. We decided that was leaking, and we're gonna go in with this one. It's supposed to be pre-bled. Comes with the whole master slave reservoir setup. This is I think a little bulkhead washer. You got to change this. Now this goes in here, and there's a little plastic catch which you cannot probably see, and I don't have a light and it's getting dark. So point being is that this circle attaches to the plastic bushing on the clutch pedal, and then this bulbous end goes in here and clicks. Do not put this in until you're ready to click it, because once you click it, you ain't unclicking it without breaking the piece in there, and you cannot get them. So it'll tell you on your directions here. Just make sure you read through them, but it's pretty much plug and play. We're gonna snake the old one out, we're gonna drop this one in, and this stabs in, you know, one stabbing into the transmission, and this one is stabbing in and twisting into the firewall, and Tristan will go through and give you the rundown after he gets it out.
All right, fellas, just an update. I started to take this clutch safety switch off, take my batteries, disconnect and everything, but if you pull hard enough on this clutch pedal towards the steering wheel, it will pop out of its master cylinder, and then at that point we can come under the hood here and make a clockwise twist on this master cylinder.
If it don't blow itself up, he's gonna blow it up.
And that'll free it from the firewall. Now we can get to our little safety switch. This is the clip and the C clip that's holding that clutch pedal from overextending. We'll go ahead and get this off of here, and then we can drop our clutch safety switch out and replace our rod. So we'll go ahead and get our parts ready and update you. All right, guys, just a little update for y'all. As you can see, this 15-minute project has gone in past the PM. So I've been fighting getting this master cylinder eye off of the clutch pedal. It's facing this way towards the fender wall, and it's really hard to see anything, let alone get to it. I tried a numerous amount of things trying to get this clip off without breaking it. I don't have a replacement for it. I got me a 13 mil socket and got this trim tool on the back here with a little pry and twist, and prying on this, I promise it'll come out for you, but it's not fun either way. This is your C-clip that we ripped out of the master cylinder. This is all getting replaced, so we're gonna transfer this plastic clip to the new one. As far as our clutch safety switch, all I did for it, I didn't even have to unplug the electrical, just undid its plastic retainer here, just a couple tabs slide in and it slides up, and it was able to come off the rod, and I was able to push my clutch all the way in to get better access to our little stud over here. But it's not fun either way you look at it. So now we can finally go back underneath the hood, man. Yeah, you just plug in, plug out, and all right, so now that we're underneath the hood, we're gonna push in and give it a clockwise twist. And this grommet might have to come out as well, but let me get a better look at this. Alrighty, guys, with a little bit of force, well, more force than I thought, and some twisting, this master cylinder piece came out. The opposing release cylinder or slave cylinder on the transmission, same way, give it a counterclockwise, man, it's late, give it a counterclockwise twist, push it in. That's the easiest one out of all of them. And then this whole assembly will hopefully come out. You talk to them nice. I'll lie, you gotta curse at them enough, and then it'll come out just like that. I think that's the south. Oh, I think that's the South Bend one with that bull crap on it. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. All right, guys, we'll come back to you in a better light. Shit. All right, guys. Well, I was gonna wait until a more opportune time to show y'all exactly, you know, in the daylight what the installation would look like, but I feel like this gives it a touch of realism. You know, this thing ain't gonna go out on you, you know, in the most opportune time anyway, so we'll go ahead with it. Plus, this is my ride home, so so we're gonna go ahead and swap over our I didn't get a new plastic clip with this, so we'll swap it over to our new one here, as well as put this on our master cylinder before we stab it into the firewall. This is the slave cylinder, but we'll put it over here on the master cylinder, and it should be pre-bled and everything, so plug and play, as they say. One caution letter that I have, it says do not install push rod after this master cylinder has been mounted to the firewall. Once you push your clutch into the master cylinder, this, as you can see, all of this mechanism, this spring clamp, and the little one-way thing right here is all on the inside of your new part here. So once this rod seats in here, it should be seated for good. So we'll go ahead and swap out what we don't have, and I'll show y'all snake it in the truck, and we'll take a look at the result. Yeah, it's dark out here. Okay, guys, we got this cylinder. Shit, you can't see anything. Shoot. All right, guys, we got this master cylinder oriented. You cannot see it oriented, but we got them oriented in that direction, and turned them a quarter turn. And now I'm gonna get under the truck and show y'all the bottom cylinder here. Y'all can excuse the old people noises. They're just noises. I'm not there yet, but okay. So I'll put a plastic bag around the snout of it, just to where we don't get no 7.3 grime all over it yet. So from my understanding, oh shoot, watch them now. From my understanding, you're gonna leave these connector straps intact. You're not gonna undo these straps. You're just gonna push this in here just like you normally would, and on your first clutch throw, I don't know if those straps will break or undo or something, but you should be all good to plug it and play it. So we'll go ahead and give it a counter or clockwise twist, give it a yank, make sure she's in there, make sure our routing's all good, which it looks it is. Very good. Very good. I'll go ahead and give them some extra zip ties, but alrighty. Now we're gonna go under the dash. Oh, old people nut. Ay ay ay. More coffee mile. Alright. Alright, guys, do excuse me, I have to swap GoPros. So we got our rod here, and we got our clip. Before we go on, we're gonna thread our electrical on there, make sure our two springs are in it. And let me put y'all down for a second. Okay, guys, so we got our electrical right here. We're gonna piece them back together. Yeah, the pterodactyls are coming out tonight, right?
Laying in all that jungle chisholm juice that we washed out of the other truck.
Yeah. Damn, the mosquitoes are bad up in here.
That's the ones you brought from your house.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Alright, guys, got you a shot of the orientation of the clip. If you pay attention to how it comes off, you'd be better than me. But we're gonna go ahead, stab this on the clutch linkage on the pedal itself, and then we'll get this started in its home, and we'll give her one clutch pull when we know that's correct. You know, when we send her home, that's it. That's she's
gonna lock into that clip and stay there.
right. It's all contained in that master cylinder there. So we'll go ahead and line it on up.
Watch that, it'll knock your teeth out. I have no idea if this light is right.
Yeah, it's looking good. Alrighty, guys. Alright, guys, so we got our, y'all can't see anything. So we got our rod clipped, and we'll go ahead and start it. Oh no.
Okay. Gonna take some editing.
Alrighty, guys, so we got everything buttoned up here. Got the slave cylinder in the transmission and clocked. Like I said, we're gonna go ahead and give it the first clutch pull to set everything in. Excuse me. And see how she feels. So feels good. It's a little lighter than the other one, but I like it. Okay, now I wonder what I should do next.
Fire ass up.
Alrighty, we'll go ahead and turn the key. This is a video for you.
Send it.
Yeah, we're gonna send it. I think everything's out of the fan. Everything should be
I'll
all
check.
copacetic. Alright, guys, so we'll go ahead and give her some glow pluggies. And we'll see if she starts. Well, clutch safety switch seemed to be work. Okay.
Well, your safety switch worked.
Yeah? What's that noise? Okay, we got stuff happening now. We got a reverse, we got a forward, and we got third, and we got reverse, low, first, third.
Feel like at a good spot and a good height.
Yeah, yeah. There's no clicking. I don't get that. Oh, I don't really get that clicking anymore. But yeah, it feels about the same. Engagement, you know. That's third, low, fourth, third, second. No. You don't like second.
Fiddling with it, you gonna break it.
Yeah, play with that thing long enough, it's gonna snap off. We got reverse. Oh, what's that? Is that third? What the fuck?
Reverse.
Third. Yeah. Alrighty. So we'll go ahead and update y'all when we have a conclusion.
And some daylight.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, I could do for some daylight. All right. I'm just glad that worked out.
Yeah, it's easy, it's simple, it's plug and play.
Feels pretty smooth.
That's not how you drive it when you go down the road. On the floor like that.
That's Bulk's job.
Who taught you how to drive a stick like that?
I drove my. It's like what they call them, synchronized swimmers, where they got their feet up and.
That's some kind of periscope down there.
Yeah, keeps the blood flowing, you know.
Oh Lord. All right. Cool.
Well, guys, as y'all seen, my Tuesday morning did not start off exactly how I envisioned, but we made it to the shop nonetheless. Just a run through of the problem I was experiencing. Monday night, she drove home just fine. Tuesday morning, she dropped in the first gear, headed out the driveway, and when it came down to shifting in the second, it was like second gear had a brick wall in its place, and I tried to go back in the first, and first as well just wasn't there. It wouldn't drop into the gate. So the first few tests that we went through, I just went ahead and tried the easiest thing first. That include checking the fluid. Like I said, we checked the master cylinder, slave cylinder assembly. That was all fine. I got in the truck, made sure that it wasn't grinding in the gear or our clutch was not disengaging totally, which everything felt totally normal. Our next step is going to be to pull the shift tower down and inspect, see what we see on the top end. If that doesn't equate to anything, we're going to go ahead and pull the fluid, and I may take a look in that PTO cover, see if we can't see the shift forks. So the easiest, most straightforward thing first, obviously we checked the transmission fluid. That was all topped off and don't have too many miles on it, honestly. We did go ahead and replace our master cylinder assembly for the clutch, just because I was having a clicking noise and been meaning to do that. That didn't equate to any change in the transmission. Next thing I did check, let's see, I pulled out the slave cylinder out of its hole and measured from the clutch fork to where the transmission housing starts, and I was getting about 2.5 inches, which I'm thinking is right in where it needs to be. Next thing to do is to pull this shift tower down, and we'll see if we see anything obvious, any shift bushings or roll pins that's working their way out. Okay guys, so I think we expended all of our easy solutions here. The slave cylinder, the shift bushings up top, lack of fluid in the clutch pedal reservoir or the transmission itself. We're gonna go ahead and take a deeper look at this, and as well as maybe get some parts together here. So just a closer detail of what I'm experiencing here. Like I mentioned, coming out of the driveway, it did go in the first gear and then going to shift to second. That's when I felt just a heavy resistance when you get to the gate there. It just won't drop in its gear, like either the synchro is not doing its job or something's misaligned, and that is common on both first and second gear. Every other gear is just peachy. So like I said, it was completely out of the blue. Nothing out of the ordinary occurred before the problem. I drove home the night before, and how they say it broke overnight. No, I'm not sure what exactly happened, but we're gonna go ahead and take a deeper dive into this. Alright guys, since we last spoke, I think we exhausted all of our easy options, you know, checking the fluid, checking the clutch, making sure everything was operational with the master cylinder, everything. And since it's continually since the problem is continuous in first and second, whether the truck is on or off, I'm pretty convinced it's something to do with the 1-2 synchro. And instead of being in a rush to really tear into a transmission or get one rebuilt, we went ahead and looked at the aftermarket and found one that was sitting around. So we have one with supposed low miles, and we're gonna drop the old one out and swap them over for a new. That'd be the fastest solution for right now. Hopefully we get a good look at the clutch, and that'd be all good. Alrighty guys, now that we got it on the lift, we got the drive shaft off, got my batteries disconnected, starter out, the coolant lines, they didn't really leak anything when I disconnected them. A little clutch release cylinder, and I'm going off with the top bolts right now. Bit of a bear to get to, but a little swivel socket makes a world of difference. But once I get the two top bolts out, we're gonna get this transmission supported, and then worry about this cross member. Also pulled my shift tower off of the top of the transmission already, so we don't have to worry about him. Alright guys, we got the transmission supported, and then we're gonna come out with this cross member. Alrighty guys, the flywheel here looks in good shape. One thing I noticed right when it came out was all kinds of pieces of needle bearings coming out of the pilot bearing. You probably can't see, but they just fell out of there. It was bone dry with no signs of grease in there. So I'm hoping that was our noise I was hearing. Excuse the sideways. Another cause of concern was this slop in this main spline here. The clutch had good meat left on it, and everything looked okay except that pilot bearing. And we did notice the fingers on the clutch were starting to get eaten up by the throwout bearing there. So we'll go ahead with a new clutch and everything while we had it. But that's good. I'm glad we found a smoking gun, and I think that had a lot to do with my noise. It was like a low speed noise, and anytime he was in reverse or low, a real creaking creaking low pitch noise. But that's a good thing. All right, guys, so we did find a smoking gun somewhat. This here pilot shaft of my old transmission was starting to get eaten up. They will get worse than this, but our pilot bearing, or what was left of him, that's the outer race, which we still have yet to get out, but the bearing completely exploded. The actual clutch material looked alright. You know, we got plenty of thickness left on him. As far as the flywheel and the surface on here all looked alright. Where I started seeing our I think that was a lot of my noise, was this loose hub on the clutch. Anytime at low speeds you get like a low grumbling kind of a whine, and I thought that was gear rollover, or what I thought was, but also the clutch fingers are beginning to show some wear. They're pretty sharp, and the pilot bearing was completely disintegrated on the inside. There was the race left in it and a couple pieces of bearing, but the inner race is gone, and our input shaft on our transmission, she does have some rings on her, so we'll probably be looking at tearing her down and a complete rebuild. So I didn't really see nothing wrong with the throwout bearing, but it was eating on the clutch fingers pretty good, so hopefully we can keep this input shaft nice and circular. I did see an upgrade where, I say upgrade, upgrade on the forum, saying they would put a bronze bearing in the place of the pilot bearing, and that way the bearing would get eaten up before the input shaft ever could. May have to look more into that, and may provide some information if y'all interested.
All right, guys, well, we paused the camera to get a better bite with the slide hammer, and we ended up popping it out off camera, but hey, it's off, and so we're gonna move on to finish prepping and getting ready to put it back together.
Okay, guys, we got most everything that I wanted to swap over swapped. This little keeper for the arm on the donor transmission was broke, as well as the reverse safety switch on the back was all melted. So we got our shift tower off and our fluid drained, and we'll go ahead and get it on the transmission jack and positioned underneath the truck here. Alrighty, guys, we got all of the prep work done. About to go on with the throwout arm and throwout bearing, grease up our splines and stab it on it. Alrighty, guys, getting a little late in the evening, but we got her all wrapped up, torqued down, everything. So we'll go ahead and give it a test start, make sure everything's sounding all right, and go ahead and give it a test drive, make sure everything is everything's copacetic, and hopefully we got rid of that noise. So we'll go ahead. Alright, peeps, I didn't manage to get it on camera, but we're having an issue where The clutch isn't disengaging fully. We're creeping in gear and it's hard to get in or out of gear. So looks like y'all have some bonus content. Learn about how to there is no adjustment on this hydraulic clutch, but we'll go ahead and take a dive into it. Okay guys, sorry for the noise in the background, but easiest thing first, we're gonna try to bleed this slave cylinder from the bottom, or bleed the master from the bottom up with the sleeve, however. And I say easy, but it's kind of a struggle, but we're gonna go nice and easy on the retract and then try to work any bubbles out of the system. Try to get a full guys. Round 2. Let's see how this goes. I'm gonna need some keys. It's the wrong keys. I'm a little nervous, but we shall see. Without that boot, you can hear all the 7.3 noises in the cab. Cool.
Well, we just got back from a test drive on Red. She's shifting better. Clutch is smooth. It's a little lighter on the pedal, but it's shifting sweet. So to recap, we ended up picking up that transmission with about 120,000 miles on it. We had to buy the truck to get the transmission, so we'll be swapping that on a later video and utilizing something on that truck. But basically our first Luke, whatever you call it, clutch, the clutch disc was warped, so we had to reorder and wait and get another one. And the second one was, the clutch disc was totally flat, not warped, and once we went in we were good. The problem we had is once you cranked it up with the warped clutch, the little bend in the clutch, and I think we have some footage of that, was just enough bend to not allow full release of the transmission, so the transmission would never stop rolling and it wouldn't let you drop in gear. So anyhow, the new clutch, the second one we got, straightened that problem out, and everything else was the exact same. We just ordered the same thing again, and you know, did away with the bent clutch disc and put the straight one in. So she's up and running and ready to go, and she's made a few trips down the road and looking good and feeling right. So that's swapping a clutch on the 7.3, and we're gonna have a couple of more videos. We got one back here next to the 57 we're gonna have to rob a 6-speed out of, and a couple of trucks in the boneyard we're gonna be working on. So anyway, we'll get to those here soon, and I'm dying to get to this 57, and I know I teased y'all with it, and I'm sorry because I can't stand tease videos either, but man, we're really looking forward to that. I just got a couple of things I got to get out the way, but it is coming right around the bend, and we got some neat plans for that. I think it's going to be a cool little build. So anyway, we got a few other cool builds coming up. Got red out the way, so that's good, and we got, as you can see in front of the shop, we got a few other ones being worked on. So that's it for now. You guys have any questions or comments, hit us up in the talk box. And other than that, we shall see y'all on the next one.